Let's get the Topaz 30 plugged in and set up and threaded up. So first off, you want to plug your power cord into the side of the machine and then go ahead and turn the machine on. If you haven't already, the accessory box had the extra cord that's going to plug into here, and then you can just place this right into this little opening that will allow it to lay flat onto your floor, and then plug that in separately right beside the power cord. So we'll put that on the floor. We'll rotate this around. Let's get started. This is so exciting. So first off, you are going to need an empty bobbin. So we'll pull out a bobbin out of the top. And then for a spool of thread, we're going to take this. And then we've also taken out the spool cap that's going to match. So if you've got skinnier spools with end caps. So definitely keep that in mind when you pick a spool cap out. So we're going to go ahead. Now there's actually two ways to wind a bobbin. You can actually wind a bobbin first directly from the spool. I'll show you here. We can go up and over the top and then down underneath the little pre-tensioner. Now notice I'm holding the thread here and then pulling so it can attach in. Now as I come over here, I'll place this in this little guide, and then each of your bobbins, now they are specific for the Husqvarna Viking machines, but there is a little H, so you always want to find that H so it's always up. We'll put H on the top here, and when we drop it in, the H will always be visible. So you never have to worry about getting it in right or wrong. But I am going to thread the thread, there we go, through the little hole and right on here. Now once I push that down, make sure it gets twisted and placed in, and then go ahead and push the lever down. Once you do that, the screen shows that I need to touch the OK button to start this. And I'm going to hold the thread straight up and down. So that's one way to wind the bobbin, but I'm going to show you a different way. So I'm going to actually unthread that. We'll let that come off for a second here. We're going to undo the pre-tensioner. Here's how we're going to do it. We're actually going to thread the machine, and I'm going to show you how to wind the bobbin from the needle to the bobbin. So you're still going to come over this top silver bar, come down and underneath. Notice I'm holding this thread as I continue over the top and down. As you come down in here, I want to make sure that you hold this thread. Also make sure your presser foot is up. If your presser foot's up, then these tension discs, that's where they are. They hang out there, and they are just that, two discs that open and close as your machine works. So make sure that the thread gets sunk all the way down in there. There is kind of a little silver fin, and it doesn't matter which side you go on. It actually is there for when we use a double needle or twin needle. We'll separate the two threads, one on the right and one on the left, and then they both get equal tension. But for when you're threading with a single thread, it doesn't matter. Come underneath the part here, come all the way up. You can come over to the right side, lean, and then come over to the left side. So you're going up and over and down. There's little arrows on the machine. Now there's one guide at the top of the needle. I just usually hold my thread out and catch it there, and we'll do a close-up of the needle threader. But that is wonderful little guy because he'll pull a little loop through. Now, for winding a bobbin, what I want to do is I'm going to slide the thread underneath the presser foot. And see these little silver arms? Those are protecting the machine as the thread will ride by it. That's what those are for. And now we're going to once again thread the bobbin up and through, and then we're going to push that down, give it a little spin, make sure it's on engage. I'm going to hold this straight up and touch the OK button. So what I'll do is go ahead and fill that all the way up as we're winding that bobbin. And if it breaks off, great. Otherwise, we'll make sure there's not a little tail sticking out as that is once it is filled up. You'll notice it'll fill up really fast. It'll stop when it's done though, so just let it finish up here. Love that, it'll flip off. And yes, I do see a little tail. So before we go any further, I'm going to get my scissors out. Here we go, and trim that. Make sure there's no tail coming up. Now you can just take the bobbin, lift straight up, and there's a little cutter underneath here. So you can just bring that around and cut. So once again, we don't need our scissors. And our machine, look, it's already threaded. La la. We're going to slide this towards us. There is a bobbin, and this is one of those colorful bobbins, so with a little bit of a hot pink in there. Love it. So we're looking for the H. Now as we drop this in, we will do a close-up of this. You're going to bring the thread around, drop it in the little groove about 6 o'clock, hold it, pull up to the side, and then there's a little groove or corner. We're going to go up over that corner, down underneath the little cutter, and I like to put the door on first and then pull my thread, and it cuts it to just the right length that will bring that up when we're starting to sew. So how about this? Let's just go ahead and test out our machine. We're going to put the fabric underneath the presser foot. It's going to start you on a straight stitch, and all I have to do is step on the foot control to start to sew. So it's going to go ahead and it'll take some locking stitches and then start sewing. Ah, sounds beautiful. All right, now let me show you a little trick. Using this selective thread cutter, the picture with the scissors on it, push that one time. It'll go ahead and cut the thread and lift the foot up, and only one thread is showing at the end here. So that's our basic how to get threaded. You can wind the bobbin one of two ways, and then now let's get a little closer to show you how to use the needle threader, how to put the bobbin in, and all the details for the functions and buttons on your machine.